How's it going? This is NMSU Herper. This is my first YouTube video. I have another channel, but this is going to be my channel strictly for my herping activities. Basically, what I'm going to do today is show you my corn snake setup. It's an Okitee, and it's probably about 7 to 8 months old. And I think it's a girl, but I'm not too sure yet. This is my first snake, so here's the basic setup. Okay. Let's see where it's at. Okay, you can't really see it right now. Eventually I'm going to get a better camera. But what I have in there now is just a basic rock cave hide, a pretty big little water dish, and then I mix about 3 parts aspen bedding with 1 part coconut husk, and I think for me that's worked out the best, just because, well, whenever it was a juvenile, well, a little bit younger I should say, I was worried that the aspen would hurt him, so I put that coconut bark in there, just because it's so fine that it's not going to really hurt him. And I don't feed them in the cage, so there's no risk for impaction or anything. So, but I also have a carpet liner on the bottom, and I started doing that just because I was kind of worried that the snake would, because I have an under tank heater. Well, I used to, but I was worried that the snake would lay on top of the direct heat and it would hurt his insides a little bit. So yeah, but for the lights, let's see if we can get this. Basically, the light that I have on there right now, I believe it's a 50 or a 45 watt night bulb, and then I also have a 50 watt day bulb. It keeps pretty good temperature gradients. It's usually around anywhere from 82 to 85 on the hot and 72 to 75 on the cold. My snake's been really good with temperature, though. Sometimes I don't even need to have the heat lights on, and I mean, he does fine. He's a really hardy snake. He's definitely really good about, he's not very picky with his temperatures. And I've noticed sometimes whenever I have him with the 85 and 75 gradient, he'll stay in the water bowl too much. So sometimes it gets really hot for him, which most people say 85 is good for him, but I know sometimes mine doesn't like it. So in one of the future videos, what I'm gonna do is I'll take out the snake and show him off. And if you've watched the first video that's on this channel, that was whenever I first got him. I only had him for maybe about a month or so. So he was really skittish back then. Probably just because he was so small. But now that he's gotten a little bit bigger, I've been taking him out every day except for 2 or 3 days after I feed him. And speaking of feeding, what I've been feeding him is he's big enough to eat fuzzies, but I personally, I just like to give him 2 pinkies instead. Just because for me, I don't really like seeing my snake bulge too much in the throat. It kind of worries me a little bit. So he's definitely a good size to eat fuzzies, but like I said, I just think it's best to give him pinkies for now until he's a little bit bigger. But yeah, I feed him once every 7 days. Sometimes once every 5, and then sometimes once every 9, just depending on the season. Or eventually I'll start breeding him, so I'll get into more elaborate patterns, so to speak. But yeah, so that's my basic setup. In one of the future videos, what I'm going to do is, well, next time I have to clean the cage, I'll just go through and show the setup and how the mixture that I used for the substrate. So Alright, well thanks for watching. Again, this is NMSU Harper, and let me know what you think of my setup.